and parenting, it's even more intense in April and May than it is like getting ready for Christmas season, right? Or getting ready for the start of school, because there's a lot of teens right now that may be trigger or maybe bordering taking summer school or having a few D's, and they need to bring their grades up to A's and C's, or not even A's, but just getting them above passing. And so this time, while I love spring, it's also a reminder that, oh my gosh, the end of the school year is 2 or 3 months away, and it's not a ton of time. And it's also when a lot of parents and teenagers as well are also going into like overdrive and anxiety and worry and stress, and getting all like systems in place to help these teenagers. So I'm with you on that. I understand completely. So remember, just your teen wants to do well. If they're really behind in their assignments, they can be super overwhelmed, and that can be a one-way ticket to shutting down and not feeling like they're ever going to get caught up. So if I'm resonating with you, help your teen do one small assignment to get something turned in, even if it's the busy work, right? Even if it's the busy work, the 2 point problems or 2 or 5 points assignments, right? A lot of that stuff just tends to fall to the wayside because it's busy work and it doesn't mean a ton. But all of a sudden, that can lead into 10 or 15 missing assignments, which can be a deal breaker when it comes to, getting their grades where they want to be. So helping your teen really prioritize and bang out some of that busy work. And so I'm with you on that. This time of year can be super stressful, so hang in there. You're not alone. And the reason why I am coming in here really is I want to share, there's a lot of you, we have a lot of new people in this group. I approve people almost every other day, and I do take weekends off. So if you've been waiting to be a part of my group, forgive me, but I do pretty much am not in this group from Thursday to Sundays, depending on what's going on. So I also have boundaries around my self-care as well. So I tend to not be on social media pretty much during the weekends and what have you. But all that being said, you're going to see a couple posts in here. If you have someone who has a new diagnosis in your world of ADHD, or maybe you are feeling like you've had so much in place and nothing's helping, maybe you have a teenager that doesn't want support, maybe you're feeling really overwhelmed with knowing where to get support, helping knowing where to go to find resources, right? We are rolling out my new program, ADHD 101, and I want you to think of it as a crash course in ADHD, right? When our son was diagnosed in elementary school, the diagnosis was really clarifying for me, and I was so happy to get that, because okay, now I know what I can deal with, right? And so I spent 2 years really researching and diving in and changing my parenting style and speaking to him and advocating and everything, because I would stop at nothing to help our family unit and help him in school. So before I even became a coach and knew that there was such a thing as an ADHD life coach, so I studied it for 2.5 years before I saw that there are people like me out there, which I did not know. So, and I realized, my gosh, if I had like a parent program or something that I could have participated in as soon as he had his diagnosis, that would have been a really big help for me, and I would have probably saved me a ton of hours. All that being said, I've taken all of that 2 years of studying, as well as what I know right now, and as my practice has gone, and as I've interacted with hundreds of teenagers, I've put together a 6-week parent ADHD 101 program. And as most of you know, I work with 80% of the time, my clients are teenagers, because I love teenagers and high school years. But I do offer 2 parent programs, and this is a new one coming out. We are starting on Sunday, this coming Sunday, which is daylight savings time already, but we're starting this Sunday. And because I have people emailing me, I have people DMing me, why do you always have stuff for parents during the week and what have you? So I'm offering it on a Sunday. I'm going against what I said I would always do, but I'm offering it on a Sunday because I truly believe that when you're understanding what's happening neurologically with your teenager, you will have a different approach to parenting them. And I'm saying that because so much of it can really be misunderstood. The behaviors can be misunderstood when they're lashing out, when they're not motivated, when they have school refusal. Like, it's always something neurologically going on, and I think it's really easy for parents to look at it in a different perspective and think, oh, he just doesn't care, he's not, he doesn't have any goals or what have you. And it can manifest itself into a lot of frustration and tension in your relationship with your teenager. So ADHD 101, you're going to see some social media stuff that I'm going to share in here as well, just to give you a quick view of what we're talking about. We're going to do a deep dive. Listen, like, it's 6 weeks and it's packed full of stuff. Let me tell you, like, I put a lot into it. I put basically what I know and what I've learned and all this good stuff into a 6-week program. Not easy, because I tend to want to share so much, but this is sort of the most condensed way of doing it. So we go into a really, really, really deep dive on what is ADHD. We talk about, one of the sessions, we talk about the behaviors that you're seeing. So impulsivity, anxiety, common coexisting condition. We are talking about rejection, sensitivity, dysphoria, RSD. I can never say that right, but all the emotionality behind the behaviors, right? When you understand what's happening in their brain, you'll be like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense now, right? So we talk about strategies and how to help when things are tense, when the anger comes out, all that good stuff, when there's frustration. And so we talk about the behaviors behind ADHD. We are going deep diving into executive functioning. I feel like ADHD should be renamed as executive functioning disorder, because so much, 90% of it is all about executive functioning, and that's the frontal part of your lobe, where it's your self-management system. It's how we all decide to lay out our days and plan our days. So executive functions, we're going to do a deep dive. I have a lot of people that say, well, what's the most important executive function skill? And I'm like, oh my gosh, they all are. But I've pretty much condensed them into the 5 most important ones that I see are really lacking, and that's focusing, time management, working memory. Working memory, organization is really important. We talk about 5 of the main organization systems to help your teenager with academic work. So anyway, executive functioning is all about managing, focusing, planning, responding, all that good stuff. So there's a session just on executive functioning as well. Also, I know that some of you are frustrated because I do not allow medication comments in here, but we do, in the 6 weeks, we do talk about managing ADHD. And I sort of have broken down the how I see managing it, and it's not just the pill. So medication helps, but there's still life skills to be learned, right? So there's a lot of different pieces of the pie, if I may, around how to manage ADHD. And you can manage it. It just takes a lot of time and effort and intention and support and grace, but it's not just the pill, right? All of us experts will tell you the pill doesn't teach the skill. So it's okay to be medicated, but you still may have troubles with your teenager getting up, and managing time as well. So we'll talk a lot more about medication and other areas of managing ADHD holistically as well. It takes a lot. It's not just one thing. It's not just a diet. It's not just this. So we spend one session on that. So what else we talk about? Management systems, managing ADHD, organization systems, managing ADHD, executive functions, what is it, and behaviors behind it. So there's a lot that I've packed into the course. I'm offering it to you, my community, for $200 less than what the next time I offer it, which I think is going to be in summer. So I'm offering it to you all for $497 for the 6 weeks. And it happens on Sundays at 4:00 Eastern. I'm in North Carolina, and all recordings, and also you get my slideshows as well. So you have all this at your disposal. It doesn't go away. You have access to all the recordings and sort of my brain dump into all of these areas. So it's a phenomenal course if you have newly diagnosed and you're really in the weeds and you're not understanding. Let me tell you, I can help you with that. I can help focus you, because you can spend hours and hours and maybe even years like moi, maybe even years going through and searching and making sure that you're finding the right information. So let me help you with that. I would love to help you because I know if you have a new diagnosis, you also may be beating yourself up about how you've been parenting, how you've been responding to your loved one, right? And look, we can all there are days when if we really beat ourselves up, we probably wouldn't be able to get out of bed based on how, we have bad parent moments. I'm there with you, but I'm very much focused on what you know and let's move forward, not harboring like guilt or shame in past events. It's all about where we are now and how to help moving forward, right? Routines are really, really important to our loved ones, and we talk about a lot of routines and consistencies and all that good stuff. So I will put the link in here. Again, we start Sundays. And the good thing about this ADHD 101, it's for the family. So if you have your husband and maybe even your teenager and they're wanting to learn, I want you to think of it as like a 6-week crash course so that you can have fundamentals, foundation, understanding, and being like, oh my gosh, that's why that happens. I completely get it, right? Well, that makes complete sense right now. And so it can be a family deal, just saying. And if you also have middle schoolers, it's okay. This is for not necessarily age. Normally I work with high schoolers, but this program, the 6-week program, is really for your whole family. So if you have middle schoolers, even elementary age kids like I had, right, all of these things will apply. It's just a matter of when, right? If they, where they are in your walk. Or if you have been parenting a neurodiverse, lovely, wonderful human being for a while, and maybe you need like a little pep in your step and a couple additional strategies, please join me. I promise you will get so much out of it. I love, love, love to teach and to educate how your brilliant brains work. And I have an innate sense of understanding it very well with behaviors as well. So would love to have you in that program and be honored to support you along your way. I will put the link in here, and you also see some social media posts that I'm going to tag and put into this group as well. So thank you all for listening. Thank you for being here. And I'm going to be coming in here throughout the week just promoting this because I promise you it's a great deal and you will walk away with a ton of value, a ton of understanding,